Members by the superintendent, followed by the reading of the school board prayer by Ms. Dot, and then the leading of the Pledge of Allegiance by Vice President Ms. Andrea Barris.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Lewis? Mr. Meyer?
Here.
Mrs. Byron? Here. Ms. Fletcher Mickens? Mr. Abear?
Here.
Mr. Washington? Mrs. Hood?
Here.
Mrs. Arso? Here. Mrs. Dugas?
Here.
Mr. President, you have a quorum.
Thank you.
Bless us, Lord, as we assemble to reflect on the many important issues brought to our attention, that we may be assisted by your guidance in arriving at the decisions that will require judgment, and that the decisions we reach through your help will contribute towards better understanding and acceptance by the people we serve. As we strive to participate in the development of an improved educational system for the people of Assumption Parish.
Amen.
Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I need a motion to adopt the consent of, to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Move on, Ms. Hood, second by Mr. Abe. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Under consent agenda, we're going to go ahead and we can approve A and C. Need a motion? Move on, Ms. Hood. Second by Ms. Dodd. All in favor?
Aye.
Item B, adopt a resolution opposing education savings accounts.
Before I read the resolution, I don't know if any board member want to speak to this. We are in some challenging times right now in public education. There is a lot of funding that is being looked at as far as what we receive from the state and from the federal government, and it's being shifted. Well, the conversations are being had that some of the money that we may receive may be moved to private schools or parents so they can have choice, but which we're not, I am not opposed of it. I just want to make sure that public education, the education that we provide to our children here is protected. Those funds are protected. So the Louisiana School Board Association has encouraged all school boards across the state to adopt a resolution in opposition of it, only because it is looking like they're going to try to take some funds from public education. Again, I don't believe anybody here, and I'm going to speak for myself, but I don't think anybody here on this board is opposed to choice. We just want to make sure that public education is protected, the dollars that we use to educate our children in Assumption Parish. I don't know if anyone wants to speak to that. Good?
Correct.
All right.
I just feel that if ESAs were to be put into something, that the accountability needs to follow each student as well. That would be my only.
And so I just got back from the Capitol a couple of hours ago, and this was a burning topic that the Capitol was. As an education savings account, and out of 643 elected school board members across the state of Louisiana, every one of us opposed that because, just like they said, they're taking money, they're siphoning money from the public school district, and they're giving it out to private schools and vouchers and stuff. Essentially, it's an extension of the voucher program that was put in under Bobby Jindal some years ago. So, again, if the state going to take, our legislators going to take money from public education, then those students ought to be accountable wherever that money goes to. And there's no accountability from what they are having to do over there and what we have to do here in the public school. Obviously, there's no transparency or nothing whatsoever. So they're over at the Capitol right now, meeting with, it's over with right now, meeting with some of our legislators, the states, our state senators, our Congress delegation. And it's just a bad thing, guys. It doesn't make sense because, I could tell you for one thing, a lot of students gonna be left behind when it goes to these private or parochial schools because they're not gonna take kids that's like my grandson Blaze who have deficiencies in school and stuff like that. So, and that's the one thing I feel is just not right. And I can tell you now, like a lot of the legislators up there in Baton Rouge, they have their kids in private schools and stuff like that. So you know who gonna benefit a lot from that? Those legislators up there in Baton Rouge. You know, so no, and by the way, today there was 48 school districts had already sent in their resolution, and she said, Janet Pope, Dr. Janet Pope, the LSBA director, said she wanted to get 68 resolutions in. So the school districts all across the state of Louisiana, they are responding, particularly District 1 that we are in here right now, the St. Mary's, Assumption, Lafourche, and all those guys, St. James, St. John, St. Charles, Arlene, Jefferson, St. Bernard, all those that responded overwhelmingly. So we doing good in District 1, guys. Thank you, Mr. President.
I also want to,
Arizona, like $590 million in the hole because of this one move that they've made. And I'm hoping that they don't break our state with doing this.
I also want to mention, because a lot of us probably aren't aware, that you can go to louisiana.gov. You can listen to every legislative argument on the floor, the committees, everything is online. You can go back and view previous committee meetings and sessions. So it's at louisiana.gov.
Please pay attention.
Yeah. I'll also echo what Mr. Honoré was saying with the lack of accountability, the lack of, they do not have to provide special services like public education does. And then a parish like us where we rely solely on state funds and federal funds for our district, it would dismantle a lot of what we're doing. A lot of these parishes that have more industry in it, they get more of their percentage of revenue from non-MFP related funding. So it would have a bigger impact on us. And it also is a disparity where they're not going to make up the funds for people that can't afford to go to private schools. So they only provide so much for that transfer. But if the family can't afford that to make up the difference on that, they're going to be left out still too, and they'll still be in a public education system that may not be able to support them if enough funds are taken out, like Arizona, the huge dollar amount that they're in the hole now. So we should adopt this resolution, and everyone should in the state. So.
Resolution reads as such, whereas there is a renewed and concerted effort at the legislature to pass bills that will give public funds directly to parents to be used for private school tuition and other education expenses with little to no oversight. Whereas the past 20 years, the state has failed to adequately fund K-12 public education. And whereas during the same period, the state has continuously placed new accountability demands on both our students and our schools. Whereas Assumption Parish School Board provides free public K-12 education to any student who resides in our school district within the guidelines set by both the state and federal government. Whereas diverting public dollars to private schools and other programs through educational savings accounts without fully funding public schools disadvantages our students and schools. Whereas providing public dollars to ESAs without requiring the same state accountability testing imposed on public school students is irresponsible public policy. Therefore, Assumption Parish School Board does hereby express its opposition to legislation creating and/or funding educational savings account. Further, the Assumption Parish School Board directs the superintendent of Assumption Parish School System to deliver a certified copy of this resolution to each member of the legislative delegation of Assumption Parish.
Thank you. I need a motion.
So moved.
Move by Mr. Dodge, second by Mr. Washington. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. On reports and recognition, we have in our packet received the administrative personnel report that you can read when you have time. Item B, recognize and honor Assumption High School cheerleaders for placing 4th at the National High School Cheer Competition in Orlando, Florida. Does anybody want to come up and say a few words?
Coaches?
No?
Come on, Kesley, come on.
Cass, no. Somebody's got to come up and speak on behalf. Somebody's got to.
Come on, girls. Encourage your coach, girls. Come on, coach.
On the agenda. Do you want to introduce everybody or anything like that? Yeah. Yeah, let's get a picture, yeah. All right.
I think placing at the national level is a huge accomplishment for all of you. Should be very proud.
Congratulations, ladies. Do y'all want to introduce y'all instructors? Yeah? Anybody?
I'm Kayla Foley. I'm your competition coach. This is Tessa Sherrod. She is the regular varsity cheerleader and the competition competition.
Well, congratulations to y'all too.
Oh, thank y'all.
Congratulations.
We mentioned a couple of them were at track or some of them have world cheer and
How many is in your group?
we had 25,
25 cheerleaders?
We had altogether, we had 30, but 25 traveled with us.
Any seniors in the audience tonight? I want to congratulate everyone, but I also want to say a special thanks to our seniors. Thank you for being dedicated to Assumption Parish. Thank you for being dedicated to Assumption High School. It's definitely greatly appreciated, and I see you. So thank you for your dedication, and everyone else as well. But I just want to give our seniors a shout out. Thank you.
And good luck to you two seniors. I know we got more than two on the squad. Huh?
We have 3 on competition 4 altogether.
Good luck, and good job. Girl.
All right. Okay, item C, recognize and honor Pierpont Elementary School baseball team as parish and tournament champions.
I only have one member, so I'm gonna make it short. We'll come up and take a picture when the girls take a picture.
Okay.
But they only have a baseball game tonight, so as coaches, we're like, that takes precedence unless you have a wedding or something like that. So Brooks actually has a game after this. So he's gonna get his picture and everything, and then he's gonna take off. But thank you for your support, fans. Thank you to all the players that committed this year.
Thank you, Coach. You made my
Thank
job
you.
easy. So congratulations again on the Pierpont Elementary Bulldogs for an outstanding season. So the girls weren't outdone. This year they had an awesome season as well. Our Lady Bulldogs took home parish champ and also tournament champ as well. So we want to congratulate our young ladies. Let's give them a big round of applause. And we will ask at this time, Coach Christie, please come forward, don't be shy, and say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Buggich. Dr. Bartholomew, school board members, thank y'all for having us. It's funny he said don't be shy, because actually, I was very shy in middle and high school, except when I was on the court of the field. Now, that was the only time, but I didn't speak in school. But anyway, we want to, again, thank y'all. We do have a lot of team members that are also at ball games. We have some softball games tonight. We have some of our softball players are in the band concert tonight. And what else? Volleyball practice in the travel league. So busy, busy, busy. Can't stop, won't stop. All those things. So we do have some here that were able to come, and I'd like to introduce them. We have 2 8th graders here with us. Ms. Daisy Rivera, come on up. Bring your name. Isabella Domain. Aubrey Clement. Janie Bro. Jordan Daigle. And Aubrey Crochet. We got these champ shirts fresh off the press today. We put a rush order on them because we, just found out we were coming to this meeting. So we have a local company that they really got it done for us. A lot of times, especially in trying times, we all reflect and we all kind of think. You always hear people talk about what's your why? What's your why? These are my why. These are part of my why. Some like these. This one here. What grade? She's been with me since 4th grade. She's been a manager on everything. Izzy kind of came and went, and these are young. These are my young babies. They're younger. But this 8th grader has been with me the entire way. And I always ask them, what did y'all pay for these shirts? And then it always confuses them. What did y'all pay for them? Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. I had one of my 5th grade managers, she panicked today. She said, oh, we had to pay for those? Did my mom pay? No, but it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of dedication. My why is on this picture. Number 15. 1963, Fairport Bulldog. My dad is number 15. Not a pair of shoes. Not a pair of shoes on their feet. Didn't have them. Didn't wear them. That's one generation removed from me. This is my 93-year-old grandmother. This is all she could write. This is all she could read. Her name. This is 2 generations removed from me. This is my blood, sweat, and tears. This is why I pour in to y'all. This is why. I'll let my leader give a little recap on our season.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Bartholomew and all school board members. I would first like to say thank you for having us, my team and members and all, here tonight to be recognized as this year's Parish Softball Champions. I just would like to take this opportunity to share a few highlights from our season. We gained valuable experience playing against some really good teams like Luxor, Bruley, and Berwick. We didn't always win, but we always lost. Wait, I'm sorry, hold on. I'm sorry. So I have to say, we always didn't win, but we never lost either, because in the words of Coach Christie, we never lose, we either win or we learn. I personally have been a manager since 5th grade, and I've been a part of this school, and this team makes me feel that all my hard work has paid off. I am now ready to play at AHS to reunite with those older players when I was that young manager. The Lady Bulldogs softball team, thank you again for all the love and support.
That's an incredible accomplishment, ladies and gentlemen.
That was cute. Some of y'all come on.
Congratulations, congratulations.
Coach. Coach Christie. Coach Christie, is this your 8 or 9 peat? Is this your 8 or 9 peat? How many years
Softball,
as being champions?
off the top of my head, I think it's 8.
Okay.
Since we got it going, I think it was 2015 or 2016. 2016?
I'd like to say thank you. And, thank y'all so much for the positive attitude y'all have instilled in our children. Each year I see these kids grow, and y'all have been such a great part of their lives. Thank y'all so much, because it means so much to our Bulldog Club. Thank you.
Hey, Coach Christie, I'm pretty sure my mom was teaching in Pierpont in 1963. I think that was her first teaching job around that time somewhere, so she knows the Bulldogs well. Anybody else?
Again, I would like to send kudos out to the teachers, the parents particularly, for allowing your kids to participate in sports in Assumption Parish. To the young lady right here, when you talk about losing, right? So let me tell you, in sports, there's winners and there are losers, right? And the resounding difference between those two, winning and losing, winning builds confidence and losing builds character. A lot of time when you win, what you do, you walk off the field and you're cheering and stuff like that. You don't think about how you won or how much you put into it. Vice versa, when you lose, that's when the character comes in, because you ask yourself, did I leave something on the court that I could have made a difference in the game? Same thing on the softball field, on the volleyball or basketball court. So always remember that winning builds confidence and losing builds character. And that's going to make you a better athlete as you go forward in your careers in Assumption Parish Schools. Thank you all very much.
Yeah. A true reflection of character from anybody that's ever been coached by Miss Christie. I mean, one of the best coaches I've ever seen coach, even when you're referee and you're coaching. My little boy plays in Pierpont League too, so even when you're referee and you're encouraging everybody on the field to do their best, and one of the best that I've ever seen coach, for sure. Yeah, y'all are blessed to have him. Blessed.
I got to witness Coach Christie the other night at just a regular recreational baseball game, and she took the opportunity not only to be an umpire, but to be a teacher and to be a coach to those kids who may not have known exactly what to do. And for somebody to just take that extra step, I commend you 100%. Thank you so much.
All right. Item E, that's right, no, item E. Recognize and honor Early Childhood Department for perfect monitoring of LA 4, 8, G, and Head Start for the 2023-2024 school year.
Good evening. I asked Dr. B if I could come and speak to the board on behalf of what's happening in early childhood, because in my 7 years in this position, we have never been monitored for LA4, AG, and Head Start, all in the same year within 4 months from each other. So it was quite a monitoring festival for us from the months of October to February. And this, as you can see how thick these packets are, takes a lot of work and a ton of time and energy from a lot of people. So I'm up here speaking, but I'm speaking of what everyone did, and because I would like for y'all to know what a fantastic team we have and how well everyone works together to do what's best for our children. So the first packet that you see is the LA4 packet. So every year we get monitored for LA4. The first page that you see is the cover sheet that we use to make sure that we've gotten all of the correct documents. The next page that you see is the actual application, and it's very important that this is thoroughly filled out front and back. If we skip something, that is a finding on every single application. We have to make sure. The next page you see is the eligibility worksheet. So these are all of the extra documents that we need to secure to make sure that a child is actually eligible for LA4. Once we have determined all of that, then we can enter them into J Campus as an LA4 student. Every month, the teachers have to make sure that the kids are coming to school, because part of our assurances for LA4 is that we're committed to making sure that the kids are coming. So each month, we have to report to the state that every child has participated at least 74% of the time in the program. If we cannot prove that, we do not get the funding for that month for that child. So with that being said, it's a lot of effort from a lot of people to make sure that our kiddos are coming to school regularly. Every October, the State Department pulls they give us files. They give us names that we have to pull the files for. So when they give us that set of names, we have to pull all of these documents for those children, and it's typically about 30 kids, random selection. And then we have to pull their attendance records. And if they missed school, we have to prove that they have excuses. You will see that this is the letter that was sent to Dr. Bartholomew, that we had perfect finding, and these were the things that they were looking for.
Perfect is no findings.
Nothing
Correct.
wrong. Perfect. Yes, okay, no findings, perfect. Yes.
You did a phenomenal job, your team.
Not Rachel, the team. So with that, that means that the teachers did what they needed to do by collecting the excuses, the paras were filing them appropriately, the school secretary was entering it timely into J Campus. My office, Ms. Summer, was getting that report ready and sending it off. Daryl and Lachey were making sure that reimbursements were coming in timely. Miss Elaine Richard is helping us with J Campus if we have a glitch. Miss Lisa Links is there helping us. Ms. Bridget is entering the apps for us. The list goes on and on of the behind-the-scenes work to get this done. But we couldn't be prouder of our team. Again, we have this every year, and we always have a perfect audit every year. The reason why it's significant that I wanted to make sure y'all knew is because we had all three this year. So the next that you see is 8G. 8G is a grant that we have for 2 of our classrooms, one at Napoleonville Primary and one at Pierrepont Elementary. Every year we write an 8G grant that has 4 learning objectives, that our children who identified 8G will do well in TS Goal in literacy and math. So we say that 85% of the participating 4-year-olds will meet or exceed grade level expectancy in the math domain and grade level expectancy in the language and literacy domain. So that's 2 of the objectives. Another objective is that 80% of the parents will participate in at least 5 activities that we host throughout the year to encourage parental involvement. And the last objective is always that the teachers who teach these children and the paraprofessionals who teach these children have at least 18 hours of professional development. This year we did have an on-site visit. He visited Pierrepont Elementary and Napoleonville Primary. We don't have the official results yet, but you'll see the email from the observer, and he said that they were amazing and they did an excellent job with their students, and he was very impressed with both classrooms. Because we report on the objectives, we know how we're doing on the objectives. We know that we're going to hit the 85%. We've already hit it, honestly, in both school locations because we had our winter TS goal reports. And we know that the parents are going to participate in 5 activities because every month they turn the end of the month report in and we monitor that. and we already had the professional development, so we know we hit that objective. So I figured we could brag about that one right now, too. The last one is the biggie. So with Head Start monitoring, we get monitored for Focus Area 1, Focus Area 2, and class observations within a 5-year period. We don't know when we're going to be observed. They give us 45-day notice. So you'll see that the first documents in your packet is the notification, is the report. So if you go to the part that's not stapled, this is the protocol that we had to prepare to make sure that we were able to answer all of these questions in the protocol. The protocol covers this book. We're supposed to have a policy, procedure, or activity for every single page in this book. And their job for monitoring is to come and ask us questions to make sure that we are doing this. And once we answer the question, then they want to see the supporting documentation that we're really doing it. So you can't just give an answer without having something to show. This stapled copy is the 9 pages of all of the areas that we were monitored in, and it shows that we are compliant in every single area of every single aspect of the program. The last time I came before you, they had found one loophole that we didn't have a policy on, so clearly we fixed it, and this time we're completely compliant. So for this event, our policy council, our teachers, our office staff, and our board members, our nurses, the nurses were amazing. They had probably a 2-hour call where they just questioned the nurses of our policies and procedures, and they were showing the documents that they used to do everything. The finance department, Mr. Darrell had a long call with them with Ms. Lachey, so it was a whole team effort over multiple days to make sure we got that done. Mr. Honore or Mr. Josh, do y'all have anything you want to share about that?
The meeting that he attended, with the group, did impact the office, did impact the job. Really did. And I think we left those stones unturned, it was nice and it was good.
That's what I love about the program that you're running and everybody that's a part of it, is that every little detail is looked at, and your input that you get from your people that are in your classrooms and the opinions and ideas that they have are valid and heard, and you guys don't leave any stone unturned. It's great what y'all are providing to the families and the kids of the parish. I mean, I say that every time we talk about you and your program, but it really is.
Thank you. And we do have a few early childhood people in the audience. So Miss Crystal and Miss Lisa are from Care Park. They have LA4 kids in their room and 8G. And Miss Janie is from Napoleonville. She is Head Start. Do y'all want to add anything? So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you letting me explain what we do and why we do it. And cheers to the future.
Yes, it.
Okay, on the policies and procedure, approve the 2024-2025 240-day calendar. Need a motion?
Second.
Moved by Ms. Barris, second by Mr. Avery. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Item B, authorize the superintendent to extend the application deadline for school choice to May 1st, 2024. Need a motion? Moved by Ms. Cooney, second by Mr. Washington. All in favor?
I have one question.
I'm sorry.
Is this going to give parents a full 30 days? Because I know. Okay,
Yes, that's why I
make
chose
sure
the.
they have the full 30 days.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Under budget, receive information on quote from Tyler Technologies for new feature additions to the transportation routing software.
Thank you, Mr. President. last year, we partnered with a company called Busware, and this particular company was supposed to provide parent app. We were anticipating ensuring that our parents had access to school buses, the information as it relates to where their kid is at, how long the bus will be before they picks up the student. So, make a long story short, that service was not provided. For some strange reason, we were not able to access that particular portion of the program. This particular company that we're going with, Tyler Technology, that company is going to provide us those services. So basically what I'm asking is we're going to discontinue the contract. After the contract's up, I think it's up on May 30th. Once that contract has ended, we're going to go with a new company because we want to make sure that we receive the services that we are telling our parents we're going to provide. And Busware were not able to do that, so we're asking that we move forward with Tyler Technology.
Mr. B, did they tell you a timeline where they could do this for us before school starts next year, school calendar next year, or?
They're anticipating this because they have to put the
Excuse me.
hardware onto our buses. Tyler Technology is anticipating like around a 3-month window for them to have this complete. And it also with this company, they also align everything that we have in our system, their system's aligned to our system. So it should be an easy upload every night, and it should not have any issues as it relates to transferring information over, which we have with Busware. So about a 3-month window for them to have everything up and running.
Thank you for the information.
Yeah, that's one of the questions I had was, is it compatible completely with what we have? And then the only value I had a question about in there was the $10,000 annual Verizon subscription. Is that the governmental rate for that? Can we just make sure that's the governmental rate
Yeah, I have to check into it
to make sure
to
we
determine.
can't get it cheaper? Okay, that's the only value in there that stood out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are they located?
Tyler's, Miss Dana, Tyler's a national organization. So it's not necessarily, like Busware, I think that company was out of Lafayette. But again, we're not getting the service. You know, we promised our parents, we told our parents that we would have at least the opportunity for them to have it on the app, and we're just not getting the service that we thought we would get. So Tyler Technology is more of a national company. They are in many, many districts across our state and across the country. So it's a much more, it's a larger company, so they have more opportunities to merge and the documents and things like that, and also provide support. And it's for information only. Next month, we'll bring it up to for a vote.
Anybody else? Under budget B, selection of system evaluation, reorganization, proposal candidate from 4 submittals, and authorize the superintendent and/or board president to execute any and all necessary contractual materials related thereto. Not quite sure, yeah.
So this is part of our quest to gather as much information as we can, so we can make informed decisions as it relates to what will our school system look like moving forward. So this one of these companies, they are skilled in collecting data from our community and our system, and then providing that information to the school board so we can have that information and make an informed decision. Even though our team did a phenomenal job on academics and things like that, but I think hiring an outside firm to come in, it just reassures us that, hey, this is the information that we need in order to make an informed decision. So at the retreat, we had 4 companies. 2 companies actually presented, but you all have 4 companies to look at their proposal. And tonight, I'm asking to choose one so we can move forward.
I would like us to choose CSRS. I went and spoke to them, I think they have a showing demand, and I think they would do a great job. So, I'm asking that we move with this company.
Yep. I agree with that as well, that company.
Okay. Okay, yep. All right, a motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Very good. Okay, item C, authorize the superintendent to solicit requests for proposals for occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech pathologists, school psychologists, behavior coach, classroom special education teacher, gifted and talented teacher, hearing impaired teacher, disability specialist, adaptive physical education teacher, sign language interpreter, speech, special education paraprofessional, educational diagnostician, and school mental health counselor.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is for us, for budgeting purposes for next year. So every year we have to come to the board to ask to go out for these services. If we cannot provide them in the current system, we go out and we obtain those services so our kids can have them. This is for next school year, but I need this now so we can start budgeting and getting those companies in.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Lewis, second by Ms. Cooney. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
We've been interviewing, so the answer is no. We do not have any applicants currently, but Ms. Brandy has been in contact with several people that are inquiring about it. But currently, right now, in the system, we do not have anyone currently that we're interviewing. We did have one candidate, but that candidate was not selected by the committee or my office, so it's still open.
Okay, item D, receive March 2024 sales and use tax report.
Good evening. Report for March 2024 sales tax collections. Returns processed 2,050. Monthly returns 1,224. 69 quarterly returns. Irregular of 740. Semi-annual 17. For a total of online filers, $1,884. Total receipts for March are $1,376,473.75, an increase of $344,048, a percentage change of 33% increase. Total collections less audits, percentage change is 30.22%. Total collections less OMV and audits, a percentage change of 42%. From that, the school board received $684,948, an increase of $171,245, percentage change of 33%. The 92 bond issue received $136,989, an increase of $34,248, a percentage change of 33%. Delinquent rate for March 24 is 7%. Industries that had an increase compared to March of 2023, general merchandise, equipment, contracting, service, utilities, miscellaneous, and unclassified. Decreases were seen in food, apparel, automotive, and manufacturing. Audit revenues for the month of March 2024, $35,415, compared to March 2023, $2,567. Auto sales for March of 24, $199,214, compared to March 23, $223,593. That's a percentage change of 10.9% decrease.
Thank you, Mr.
I know you had something in the news, the weekly newsletter about increases in teacher pay in the surrounding areas. I'd like us to look at St. Martin Parish because they dedicate their surplus sales tax to teachers, and every year they get a payout from that sales tax. So I'd like us to look into that.
Yes, ma'am. I'll look into it. Thank you.
Okay, the facilities in the ground, approved change order for addition of Davis Bacon federal wages to the Assumption Parish School Security Improvement Project. Need a motion?
Can we get an explanation on the Davis-Bacon federal wages?
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. So the Davis-Bacon federal wages is anything constructed with federal funds, we have to follow prevailing wages in the area. So what happened with the project was, I guess I misinformed the architect that was handling the project, because my understanding was it was state funds. But what it was funds from the state, well, it was through the state from the federal government. So once we realized in bidding and speaking to Mr. Dowd that these funds were not from the state, they were through the state from the federal government, then we had to go back and make sure that we had the Davis-Bacon Act applied to the project because of the federal funds. So the project is still under the grant that we have. It's not costing anything. It's not coming out of general fund of anything. So the budget was proposed at 1.3 million. It came in at $754,200. With the change order, it's still at $792,810.81. So it's not costing us anything. We still have to spend the federal funds regardless, but we have to follow the prevailing wages of the area for all labor on the project.
This was out of abundance of caution to just make sure that when we expend these funds, that we get the funds back from the federal government, that we're in accordance with those particular regulations.
Okay.
And this-
And I don't think we're the only district that happened to. We're not the only district.
It's just a minimal oversight based on the calculation.
Right, like I said, it was more or less my misunderstanding because the funds were distributed by the state, but it was through the federal government. So,
Well, we anticipated, is that the lump sum we would have to pay, or do we anticipate another one? Is this a monthly or?
no,
quarterly?
this is all figured by the contractor. So there's a summary by the contractor of each area of labor that they figured and they gave to us of what it would cost, and then their paperwork and reporting costs, because they have to go through and they have to keep track of everything, and they have to report that back if we audit it or whatever for the federal government for the grant. So that's all in addition. So that is the total cost. There will be no more costs as far as Davis-Bacon wages.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
All right.
Thank you. Had a motion, by Mr. Lewis,
Second.
second by Ms. Hood. All in favor?
Aye.
Item B, receive information on Assumption High School painting project.
So we'll, I guess on the same lines of beautifying our school, our only high school, I want to say maybe a board meeting or so ago, the board authorized me to start looking into painting our facility. So in doing so, I was talking to Mr. Savoy, and because he has a two-story building already, to make sure that everything is color-coded together, I wanted to bring forward, at least for discussion, some of the ideas that he has came up with as it relates to some of the specs and some of the buildings that we need to paint. We haven't moved forward with any colors or anything like that, but right now we just definitely need to make sure, because if you look at our buildings, they need painting. They need to be taken care of. So I think originally he had estimated around $400,000. That's to get all of the buildings color-coded, all the buildings looking alike, and all the buildings looking real good. This also includes removing any rust or any damage to the outside of our building, so we want to, it all depends on the building. Some buildings might require some sandblasting, some buildings might require pressure washing, but the goal is to make sure that we get a good surface, and then we could paint our buildings, and the paint could actually stick. So, Mr. Savoy, you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, briefly, we went ahead and we prepared a set of plans for each building at the Assumption School site that requires painting. We don't intend on painting anything that is currently a solid, already colored brick. In other words, like your breezeways all have the new white brick, and that is a through and through brick. To paint that would only generate more maintenance for you down the road. What we are painting under this is anything that currently has paint on it or needs paint on it. There is some brick surfaces that are currently painted. We're going to pressure wash those, clean them, repoint that brick, and recoat it. This also includes sanding of any metal surfaces, any exterior building that has a current painting coating or coating system on it will get pressure washed, cleaned, sanded, whatever's needed for the surface prep, some sealing and so forth repairs made, and then it will get completely recoated. The specifications that we have ready with the plans, ready to go out to bids, basically is based upon what we call a two-coat system. And what that is we're going to coordinate with the superintendent and maintenance and so forth, and we're going to pick a color that basically makes all of the buildings kind of blend and go together. Everything's going to look the same. Then you have a second coat where everything will get trimmed out in the same color. So it doesn't look bland. Not everything's going to be white or not everything's going to be cream. You're going to have a base color that would cover or tie in all of those existing buildings together, and then you'll have a same trim color that will tie back. That's for your soffits, your eaves, your doors and stuff. So it doesn't, we're not trying to create a institutional look here, but we do want to make a nice, neat, uniform look.
I think I'm sorry, go ahead. Another thing maybe we can look at while we're doing this is to get input from the staff and the spirit groups at the school to kind of see if they may want to put a mark on a certain area at, supervised and submitted artwork first before we put it on the wall. Maybe our art students at the high school or cheerleading squads or creative students there, maybe murals and things like that while we're going through it, to put that as part of this project and fund the materials they need to use that.
I also had a request. Myself and the students was looking at the stadium. It really needs to be pressure washed and cleaned bad. And I really like that while we're out there, if that's possible, that we could get a quote on cleaning that up also.
Yes, ma'am. And to Mr. Abear's point, I was at the high school early this week, and we are encouraging our students. We have the A building that's being renovated right now. So the hallways of the A building, if we could have groups or organizations kind of put their own little twist on it or spin on it to make sure that it looks more personal to our students, I think that'll go over extremely well. So I definitely agree with the idea.
I saw Kesley's face light up when I said that. She's like, all right, I already got an idea. I already got it.
So, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, item 9, appeal of expulsion, student AB, Assumption High School, may be held in executive session. If we have a motion to, in accordance with LARS 42-17-7.
So moved.
Motion moved to executive session, moved by Ms. Dot, second by Ms. Byers. All in favor?
Aye.